Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to go deep.
Today, we're tackling a topic that's super relevant if you're just getting your service business off the ground, like those first-year hurdles everyone trips over.
Been there.
Haha, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're dissecting this piece called Five Mistakes to Avoid in Your First Year in the Service Business by Omar Karbat. He's the founder of Boots and Ladders.
Boots and Ladders. Yeah, I've come across that. It's a great platform, by the way, for finding local service providers.
Yeah, Omar definitely knows his stuff. So by the end of this, you'll have some solid strategies to avoid those common pitfalls and, actually set yourself up for success. Sound good?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Omar kicks things off with a mistake that, honestly, a lot of us probably make, thinking your logo is your brand.
Oh, yeah, that shiny new logo syndrome. Been there, done that. Got a
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Right. I know I spent way too much time stressing over mine when I first started. But Omar's point is, the brand is why you, especially in those early days.
It's about building that personal connection. Like, think about it. When you're looking for, say, a plumber or an electrician, do you go for the one with the fanciest logo?
Probably not. It's more about trust, recommendations.
Right.
Like, hey, my neighbor uses this electrician and he was amazing.
100%. Word of mouth is gold. Omar puts it perfectly. People buy from people, not logos.
And that's so true for service businesses. You're not just selling a product, you're selling your expertise, your reliability, your
Yeah.
personality even.
It's about building relationships and delivering on those promises every single time.
So building that solid rep is key. Okay, on to mistake number 2, and this one can be tempting. Spending big bucks on ads right out of the gate.
It's easy to think, okay, I need to get my name out there. Let's hit those ads hard.
But that's not always the smartest move, especially when you're just starting out. Omar suggests focusing on what he calls organic growth first.
Organic growth, meaning attracting those customers naturally without shelling out for those pricey ad campaigns.
Exactly. So what does organic growth look like in practice?
Well, a lot of it's about those free, readily available tools. Setting up your Google My Business profile, creating a Facebook page, getting listed on platforms like, well, Boots and Ladders.
Makes sense. Got to be where the customers are looking.
Absolutely. And then there's video content. Don't underestimate the power of a good how-to video or a behind-the-scenes peek at your business.
People love that stuff.
Yep.
It builds trust, makes you more relatable.
Totally. But honestly, the most powerful form of organic growth. It's delivering such incredible service that people can't help but rave about you.
Word of mouth marketing strikes again. You just can't beat it. All right, ready to tackle the next one. This one can be, well, a bit of a head scratcher sometimes.
Hit me with it.
Mistake number 3, guessing your prices.
Oh, I've seen so many business owners struggle with this one.
Right. Trying to figure out that sweet spot. Not too high, not too low.
It's a tough one for sure. Omar advocates for a specific pricing model called cost plus pricing.
Cost plus pricing. Break down how that works for us.
Sure, it's about taking all your costs, your time, materials, everything, and then adding a markup for your profit margin. So let's say your hourly rate is, say, $50. The materials for a job are another $20, and you want a 20% profit margin on top of that.
Okay, I'm following so far.
Yeah.
So how do we calculate the final price with all that?
Well, you add up the costs. So $50 for labor plus the $20 for materials gives you $70. Then you add that 20% profit margin on top, and you end up with a final price of $84.
So you're ensuring you cover your expenses and actually make some profit.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of it. Plus, it helps you avoid that race to the bottom, where everyone's trying to be the cheapest.
Yeah, that's a dangerous game to play.
Right. And Omar has this great quote about this. You'll never lose money on a job you didn't take.
That's a good one to remember. Because sometimes it's better to walk away from a job if the price isn't right.
100%.
Yeah.
Value your time and your expertise.
All right, moving on to mistake number 4. And this one, I think I fell into this trap early on too. Trying to be a jack of all trades, that whole I can do it all mentality.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah, trying to offer everything under the sun, thinking that's how you attract more clients.
But as Omar points out, that can actually hold you back.
Exactly. Because you end up being pretty good at a lot of things, but not great at any one thing.
And that's where specialization comes in.
Ah, so instead of being a general plumber, you become, the drain clearing guru or something?
Even more specific, Omar uses this example. Instead of just being a general plumber, you become the go-to expert for, say, water heater replacements.
Okay, I see the strategy here.
Right, because when someone's water heater bursts, who are they going to call? The general plumber or the water heater specialist?
The specialist, obviously, makes total sense.
It not only positions you as the expert, but it streamlines your work. You know what to expect, you get those systems dialed in, you become more efficient.
And probably you can charge a premium because you're the person for this specific problem.
You got it. It also leads to a more predictable schedule, a stable income. It's a win-win.
So specialization is definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the final mistake. And this one I think ties into the last one a bit.
Let's hear it.
It's trying to serve everyone, everywhere.
Ah, yes, spreading yourself too thin.
Right, like I'm going to drive 50 miles to fix a leaky faucet.
Ah, not the most sustainable approach.
Not at all. So what does Omar recommend instead?
He calls it the hyper-local strategy, focusing on dominating one, maybe 2 zip codes, becoming the go-to person in that specific area.
So becoming that neighborhood hero.
Exactly. It just makes so much sense. You will reduce travel time, you can squeeze more jobs into a day, and you build that really strong local customer base through word of mouth, of course.
And then you organically expand outward from there. It's a really smart strategy. So let's do a quick recap of those 5 mistakes to avoid. Building your brand first, focusing on organic growth, knowing your worth, and pricing accordingly.
Specializing in your niche and dominating a specific local market. Nail those, and your chances of success in that first year, well, they skyrocket.
Totally agree. Solid advice from Omar, for sure.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? Like you've heard all these pitfalls to avoid, these mistakes to sidestep.
But the real question is, what's one action step you can take today based on what we've talked about?
Is it finally claiming that Google My Business listing, revisiting your pricing, refining the services you offer, taking that one small step is what sets everything in motion?
So what's it going to be? Think about it. And until next time,
Happy hustling.
keep building those businesses.